Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so, sir, I would like to get your view on leadership. What do you
Okay.
think leadership is all about?
Yeah. So I have the following idea about leadership. I hear a lot of theory and a lot of talk about leadership, and people think it's this, other people think it's that. Some other people think it's something totally different. Like there are so many views about leadership, and I really believe that you should let your leadership depend on the people you lead. And leadership can be everything. Leadership is also parenting. That's also leadership, right? And leadership can be teaching and can be anything. So, in my view, it's really important that you adjust your leadership style or whatever you call it on the people that you lead. Because if you are the leader of, let's say, mechanics, right, who repair cars, that has to be, you have to do that in a totally different way than if you like the boss of a, let's say, a hospital, if you lead nurses and doctors and stuff. So before you talk about leadership, I think you have to see, okay, which people am I leading and what's our goal? Where do you want to lead them? And I feel that's often missing in leadership courses, in leadership, and all the talk about leadership. What's missing for me is that they say, okay, leadership, this is leadership, but who are you leading? I never hear people talk about that, and it's important.
Yes, very important. So, what about leadership in terms of business? Well, what do you think it means, leadership in business?
Do you mean for a company, or do you mean self-leadership, or what do you mean?
I mean, for a CEO
Yeah.
leading others, what do you mean it's all about? Is it all about bossing people around?
But here again, you got leadership styles, right? You got the basic model, which is pyramids, right? Top down, CEO, the boss is on top, and he says it's white, and everybody has to say it's white. That's a model. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it's a model. Personally, I am, for me, leadership is flattening this pyramid, because at the bottom of this pyramid, these people can help you a lot in your business, in your company. And for me, it's all about culture. Because when people are happy in your company, they will perform much better than people they are not. So it's all about culture and attracting the right people. And if you build a good culture, or good, there's no good, no bad. If you build a certain culture, then you'll at some point attract the people who like the culture and get rid of the people who don't like your culture. And for me, that's the way to go.
Okay, so in terms of leadership in business, there have to be a certain culture that you put in place.
Yeah.
Then you go with that.
And the put in place is also not okay. You don't put it in place. You breathe and live it yourself. Everything goes top down, and that's, if you have the pyramid, everything goes top down. So if the CEO behaves in a certain way, right, the senior levels will behave in that way. The C-level management will behave in a certain way. The managers will behave in that way. And ultimately, the workers will behave in that way too. And that's what culture is. But if you don't live it yourself as a CEO, you can talk whatever, you can put your values on the wall. In this company, we have this and this and this values, and we go for this and this and this. But if you don't breathe and live it yourself, it will never go top down, never.
Well, thank you so much. I just want to know, is there any quote, any of your favorite quotes you could tell us
A quote
on leadership?
on leadership. It's always, my quote is always the same in everything that I do. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's not about you.
So people, before now, a lot of people think in leadership, when it comes to leadership, just as you said,
Yeah.
once you are the CEO, every other thing is under you.
Yeah.
And then nobody else has a say.
Yeah.
It's whatever you say that is the final.
Yeah.
And from what you've said, it shouldn't be so. It's not that it's totally wrong, but it shouldn't be so.
It's just my opinion. My opinion is that somebody who's, let's say, in the bottom of this pyramid, he's on the field. So he can give you valuable ideas about how you can improve things. But if you don't listen to these ideas, if you just go say, no, it has to be, go this way. I mean, if you dig a hole, you have to dig it with a shovel. Yeah. And, but maybe some worker said, hey, but boss, maybe we can hire like this machine. It goes faster. If you don't listen to that, you won't improve. But if you listen, hey, maybe this work was wrong. But if you are thinking, he's just lazy, he doesn't want to shovel. Yeah, I mean, then you got a problem, because this worker gave you a very good idea and you don't pick it up because you still think, no, he just has to do what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the mindset that you know it all.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem, sir. I just would want to ask you, what advice would you give someone out there who is hoping to start a company or business? What advice would you give him on how he can lead his people as well?
I think the best advice I can give a CEO or a leader or somebody who has a company is to be aware of, right, that the people who are work for you, they don't have the same motivation as you. Because you follow your passion, you want to do this, they don't. So you have to be aware of that.
They don't share the same vision.
No, yeah, vision is another thing. Vision you can imply and you can, but you know, if you're the CEO, if you're the leader of somebody, and you say, okay, I'm working like 20 hours a week, a day. Sorry, I want my workers to do that too. It's not going to work because they are not as motivated as you. Of course, you can motivate them to work, but it will never be the same level as you, and that's something you should realize.
Well, thank you so much for this short talk on leadership. I believe it's quite educative because some persons out there from here is going to have a rethink on how they run their business and how they treat the people who are working for them. So I believe this will actually go along.
Yeah, it's about, I mean, and if I can add things, there's no wrong and right. Don't get me wrong. But if you can motivate your people, if you can have a culture where people like to work, it's not only good for the people, it will also be good for you, for your revenue, for your company, for everything, for your society. And I think that's where we are heading to. I can be wrong, of course, but I think the pyramid model has had its best time, and people are also looking for companies where they feel okay, and where they can say, hey, my wife is pregnant, she has to deliver, can I have a few days off? And as a CEO, when you say no, you can't, I think you have a problem then, and that has nothing to do with authority, or that has nothing to do with being a boss. That has something to do with creating a culture of working with people.
So do you think that pep talk is essential once in a while for your employees?
No, I don't believe in pep talk. I think pep talk is like a hot bath, right? You sit in a bath with hot water, and what happens is if you don't pour hot water regularly with it, it will cool down. So pep talk is good for a moment or for a few days, even maybe a few weeks, but it always, the best thing you do is, if you want the people reacting or working or doing things in a certain way, you have to do it yourself. You can't say to your people, hey, you have to work hard, but yourself not working hard, go lay on a beach. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know, you can do other things than your people, of course, that's another thing. But it doesn't work.
I think it all goes down to what you said. You have to leave what you want others to start doing.
Yeah.
You have to show it so that you can actually refer them to your kind of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that they see, yes, this is what you are doing. You are not asking them to do what you can't do.
No.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you so much.